All right, these are our headlines here on Morning Kick Around Monday, March 3rd, first show of March 2025. I'm Robert. He's Jason. Match day 2 for Major League Soccer has come and gone. Plenty of thrills and spills. On Friday, we picked out 4 of the 15 games on the match day schedule. To review, I picked Charlotte, Atlanta, Real Salt Lake versus Seattle. You picked games to watch: Philadelphia, Cincinnati, and then San Diego, St. Louis. There's some other interesting games too, but just to circle some of those. Charlotte had their home opener. It was going to be a big challenge against the retooled Atlanta United, and it seems like the Charlotte fans were treated to a Wilfried Zaha debut and a Wilfried Zaha goal.
Yeah, great day for Charlotte to see Wilfried Zaha come in and make an immediate impact. And, you know, in the short history of Charlotte FC, they have never had a player of Wilfried Zaha's pedigree, his experience, his abilities, and so it has to be really exciting. Handicapping Major League Soccer is a fool's errand. Don't do it. Don't even bother. Don't even try. I think my post on Blue Sky, after I think we'd had 2 games completed, and I said, we are barely started this day, and already MLS is telling us we don't know. Bleep. Do we curse on this show? We don't know shit. We don't know shit about MLS. It doesn't. You can predict it all you want. You will probably be mostly wrong in the end. I'm not saying I had Atlanta going to Charlotte and winning, but I'm not sure I saw it exactly happening the way it did. And you know, your games also kind of speak to that, where you know you might not, after the initial showing for RSL, you might not have had them beating Seattle. You had so your 2 games there, Philadelphia, Cincinnati. Again, I just thought there would be interesting storylines. Didn't know Philly was going to put it on Cincy like that. A 4-1 victory for Philadelphia, who looks incredible on the Bradley Carnell so far.
Right, that might be the biggest story so far. We're like, where are the goals going to come from? And they've scored what, like 8 in 2 games?
Who thought? Did you have Baribo as your Golden Boot winner in MLS? Now, look, it's a long way to go. He might not win the Golden Boot, but the man is already pumping in goals for Philadelphia. Maybe we overlooked him as a potential star of the season. 27-year-old Israeli. I mean, again, Philly looked to be taking a step back because of some changes, because of the end of the Jim Curtin era. But so far in 2 games, their fans have to be thrilled. 5 goals. Baribo with 5 goals in 2 matches. You can't keep up that pace, but look out Suarez, Messi, and company, because here's Baribo coming.
Yeah, Charlotte got the 2-0 win in their home opener over Atlanta United. Ajamin and Wilfried Zaha kind of finding a little bit of early chemistry together, perhaps. Zaha's post-game comments were interesting. It was encouraging, yet I wouldn't say he wasn't exactly a cheerleader for. He was like, they asked the press asked, what did you think of the atmosphere? And he's like, that's what the lads told me. And it's like, what did you think of the performance? It's like, well, I had a bit of a go at the guys, and I'm glad we turned around and responded. So, interesting to see, like, which way is he going to go? Is he going to be, we talk a lot about how DPs have to have the right attitude to be successful in Major League Soccer. Right. And I'm going to keep my eye on Mr. Z there in Charlotte.
Yeah, looking like he's maybe stepping up and taking on that leadership role that's kind of necessary when you make the most money, right? When you are making more money than anybody else in the team, people are going to look to you. And you have the pedigree that Zaha does, people are going to look to you. And if this is something we've talked about with, Lorenzo Insigne and Bernadeschi lesser than Insigne, but both of those, have they stepped up? Are they leaders? Are they the figures, the central figures around which things move in Toronto when it's been pretty bad? And of course you can list a number. Jordan Shaqiri in Chicago, you can list a number of players where it's kind of been like, oh, you're getting all this money and then you don't really even show up, or you don't seem connected to it, you don't seem interested, you don't seem engaged. So far, Wilfried Zaha is engaged. That's a good step.
But one of the games that we didn't circle on Friday that actually probably turned into being one of the, or actually we haven't dug into it. You picked this game, San Diego and St. Louis. There was a couple things there of note, not on the goal scoring sheet though, unfortunately, for the home goals. Opener, the first ever home game for San Diego FC.
Right, and I circled that game because San Diego had the opening day victory, right, which was Okay, they showed us a little bit. Now the Galaxy gifted they gifted that win to San Diego. I think that's fair. I mean, maybe the Galaxy aren't good. I think we've got more evidence of that. The Galaxy are going to struggle to bounce back after the championship. The hangover is real.
Yeah.
The changes in their roster have really impacted them, and it's going to be tough for Greg Vanney to figure out how to make them competitive. But I circled that game because it was going to be the home debut for San Diego FC, and we get no goals. And I also point out that St. Louis has now played 180 minutes and scored no goals. No goals under Olaf Melberg so far. They got to go find some goals. No goals, and really the story of the game was things that happened in the stands, the chant that happened there in San Diego. And look, this is what I'll say about this. You don't have to do it. You don't have to do that. Right? How does that improve your experience? How does that make it better for you when you're out watching your team play? And San Diego fans, you had one chance. I know this is not all San Diego fans, like not all San Diego fans. But you had one chance to make a first impression, and that's the impression you've made. The ones who took it upon themselves to do that chant have now marred the image of San Diego soccer fans, MLS fans, for everybody in the country. Your coach had to come out and talk about it. That's not good, Rob. That's not good.
Yeah, they had to make it a statement on social media. They put an announcement up on the big screen at the game. So, yeah, that's like the big takeaway from their opening game. It's not about a Chucky Lozano winner. It's not about a triumphant success at home. It is about a chant. I'm curious, like everyone is aware of like you're not supposed to be doing this anymore, right? Like, that's firmly established, like that there's no mystery to this anymore, right?
Everybody knows. And there are some people, and this is a societal issue, right? I'm not going to turn this into I'm not Stephen A. Smith. I'm not moving outside of my normal area of expertise and commenting on other stuff.
Social things, yeah.
But I will say, it seems to be that we have a lot of people right now whose idea of fun is to do stuff they know they shouldn't do. They know is wrong, right? They know it's wrong. Now, maybe the people who did it are just homophobic. That's possible. I think that's obviously wrong.
Yeah,
that's obviously horrendous, but
is it a traditional things like this is what our people have been doing at soccer games for a generation? Or is it like, I am going to take this chance to say something hateful?
So I've covered this story of this quite a bit in my career, unfortunately, right? It's come up a lot. It obviously came, there was an issue there still is, I guess, with Mexico fans doing this, right?
Yeah.
National team
crossover
fans
here with San Diego.
Yeah, Mexico national team fans doing it at Mexican national team games in the United States in particular. And I have a friend, Eric Gomez, who works for ESPN Mexico. I've had him on my radio shows and other things many, many times. And what Eric would say about this is that it seems to be something that started mainly with Mexico fans in the U.S., or it became a thing. Maybe it existed in other places. I can't say that it didn't exist in Mexico, but it really became a thing for fans going out to Mexico games in the United States. And now obviously it's trickled over and it's become this thing. Right? And I don't know what the argument could be. Oh, this is what we do. This is our culture. If that's your culture is that part of your culture is wrong. I'm sorry. Whatever. I mean, we're all. I'm a multicultural person. I'm open to learning about different cultures and things. And sometimes our perspectives are slightly different, and we have to be careful. But come on, this is not good. Let's move on.
The one little caveat, I thought that was kind of funny when playing out the back got popular from goalies, and so people got a little confused if do the run up to go away, but if you just pass it short, there's not that opportunity to do so.